The UK is reconsidering its support for the Iran nuclear deal in light of the execution of Alireza Akbari, a British Iranian dual national. The Prime Minister here, Rishi Sunak, accused the regime of a callous and cowardly act carried out by a barbaric regime with no respect for the human rights of their own people. Mr. Akbari had supported the Iran nuclear deal, originally signed between the West and Tehran in 2015, and he was considered close to Ali Shamkhani, the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He had lived in the UK for over a decade, but was arrested after an invitation to visit Iran at the request of a top Iranian diplomat who was involved in the nuclear talks with the world powers. Tehran had said that Akbari was guilty of spying for the UK and arrested him in 2019. He had denied those charges, and despite calls last week for Tehran to cancel his execution, it did go ahead. He had alleged that he was interrogated and tortured by Iranian intelligence agents for more than 3,500 hours. The execution is a major escalation in the tensions between Iran and the UK, which were already high during the anti-regime protests in Iran and the crackdown on protesters, which has seen some protesters executed by the regime. Iran's support for Russia in the war in Ukraine has also shifted Britain's position. Britain had been a senior player in the nuclear talks, originally led by President Obama. The deal had eased those crippling sanctions on Tehran in return for curbs on its nuclear program, but was always criticised forcefully by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, and also it was later abandoned by the former President Trump in the States. And critics have long accused Iran of using the negotiations to resume the deal as a sort of stalling tactic while it pressed ahead with developing nuclear weapons capability.